Shalom, family. Welcome back to Just the Word Prophecies, channel where we feel the Most High sending us dreams, visions in these last days, on all the warnings that are going to be sent out to His people, to every ear that can hear, every ear that wants to hear the message of the Most High in these last days. He has promised to pour out His Spirit in these last days to grant visions and signs, to grant dreams that are to be spoken to you. None of these dreams are ours. They are not ours for us to keep to ourselves, for us to hoard. It is for us to share them because they are not our own, to awaken and to warn people in these last days. So the dream that I'm going to, it's actually two dreams that I'm going to be sharing today. The only thing that I can closely relate them to is that when Yahusha says that there will be signs and wonders in the heavens in the last days. So there will be a lot of things that we cannot explain, a lot of things that will be bizarre in the last days. So I will go ahead and explain and tell the dreams to you guys, and then we will speak about them after. So the first one that I have is called Behind the Moon. This I had about two years ago, I think. It is called Behind the Moon. I was floating in space, in spirit, when suddenly a large round object was before me. The object zoomed out and came into better focus as being the moon. But when the moon was moved forward so that I could see what was behind it, I saw a strange device slash spaceship-like object that better mimicked a Star Wars futuristic space base. The object had flickering lights, like those seen on an aeroplane. Suddenly, the object morphed into the face of a devil and a huge floating face. I was suddenly further away from the moon in space, with the devil entity above the moon hurling meteors at me from his mouth. So it was almost like this device behind the moon had morphed into the face of Satan. And all of a sudden, that face was huge above the moon, and it had its mouth open, and it was spewing rocks at me, meteor rocks at me. I lifted my right hand and destroyed all the meteors he vomited at me in Yahusha's name. However, the ones not aimed at me, I could do nothing about. Suddenly, okay, yes, so that's the part that I can share. And then I had another similar dream also about the moon. And this one was also very uh, complex, okay. I stood with a crowd of people watching in shock at how massive the moon was. It was a huge red moon that had appeared in the sky, and we all looked on it in shock. The moon looked like a whole planet. Suddenly, the moon went back to its normal color, but it had a massive hole. The hole was in the center of the moon, and I could see inside of it. So it was almost like the moon had become like a donut. Well, it had like a hole cut in the center of it. Inside the moon were mechanics. The mechanics looked like solar panels, among many others. So it almost looked like it was like machinery inside the moon. It looked like a whole robotic industrial planet. I then had the knowledge that the moon was artificial and somehow being manipulated. And I woke up. So those were the two dreams that I had in terms of the moon.
That is very deep and kind of difficult to come up with something. Joel 2:31. The sun shall be turned into darkness and the moon into blood before the great and terrible day of Yahuwah come. As you said, it was a huge red moon.
Yes.
And Revelation 6 now, verse 12. And I beheld, let me get this on. And I beheld when he had opened the sixth seal, and lo, there was a great earthquake, and the sun became black as sackcloth of hair, and the moon became as blood. And the stars of heaven fell onto the earth, even as a fig tree casteth her untimely figs when she is shaken of a mighty wind. And the heaven departed as a scroll when it is rolled together, and every mountain and island were moved out of their places. And the kings of the earth, and the great men, and the rich men, and the chief captains, and the mighty men, and every bondman, and every free man hid themselves in the dens and in the rocks of the mountains, and said to the mountains and rocks, fall on us, and hide us from the face of him that sitteth on the throne, and from the wrath of the Lamb. For the great day of his wrath is come, and who shall be able to stand? So, I don't know. This is a very deep dream. I don't know if anyone out there has any insights into it, but I don't know. But sometimes we will not understand the Most High gives it. Maybe someone out there will get some insights. Okay?
Yes.
All right. Anything else?
Yes, so that's so yeah. As I'm saying, I myself don't have much insight on. The only thing that I could think about is the moon turning red. That's the only part that I could understand. But in terms of the parts that the moon is artificial, or the device behind the moon that transformed into the face of Satan, all of that I don't understand as of yet. But it's yeah.
All right. So that's it. Only hope. Sorry to leave you hanging on this one, but maybe it will give you some insight. Maybe it's something you have been looking for. Who knows? Shalom, shalom, shalom.
Shalom.
All praises to the Most High.